Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Big Frog's 4x4. So for about the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been having a squeaky noise coming from underneath our ZR2, but only noticeable at low speeds. Once you started to get up to speed, you wouldn't hear it anymore. So the first thing I did was bring it into the garage. I put it up on the lift. I put it in 4-wheel drive low range, and I locked both lockers. And with both axles off the ground, I drove slowly. Noise went away. I couldn't hear a noise. I got underneath it with the creeper and started crawling around with all 4 tires off the ground, spinning. Nothing. So I shut everything off, turned the lockers off, and I crawled underneath and started spinning all the tires by hand. And this is the noise I heard. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear that noise, but it sounds like the brake pads are rubbing the rotor somewhere. So under closer investigation, I found that there's a rust buildup, a lip on the edge of the rotor here that I believe may be starting to make contact with the pads as they spin around, and there's a high point. Right about in there, where that rust is rubbing on the brake pads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hammer and a screwdriver and just kind of chisel that edge off of this rust and see if that noise goes away. All right, what I hope you can see here in the camera is this rust lip right in here that I believe is making contact with the edge of the brake pad. So what you want to do is come along and just kind of chisel. Some of it might just scrape off, but you want to chisel all this buildup off. All right, once I got all that chiseled away, I took the screwdriver and I'm going to wedge it and keep pressure on it right here on the edge where the rust scale was, and just kind of scrape away any built-up rust. You could use a file, sandpaper, or something like that as well. I'm going to spin the wheel and just kind of scrape the rust away. You probably can't see it on camera, but there's a ton of rust that's dropping down through. And then over here, it's rusted as well, so I'm going to do the same thing. Try to get some of this buildup of rust off. Okay, now the only noise you really hear is the pads themselves just touching the surface of the rotor. And you might have to go around all the wheels and do this inside and outside of the rotor. If they're really bad, you're going to have to take your calipers off, and that way you can get in here with emery cloth or something and clean these all off with the emery cloth, or a sanding disc on your die grinder or something like that, and get this buildup off. If you don't get this buildup rust off, it's going to build up high enough, even with it making noise, and it's going to prematurely wear out your brakes. As always, thanks for watching Big Frog's 4x4. Hope this helped you out some. Like, subscribe, and as always, God bless.